What is going on, guys? My name is Robert. In today's video, I'm going over 5 things I wish I knew before I started hosting an Airbnb. So guys, like I said, today I'm going over 5 things that I wish I knew and that I could have done from the very start. I've done a lot of learning in the time that I've been a host. So some of the things I want to share with you guys include like actual strategic, tactical things that could help your business and help you book more guests. And some of them are just little things I learned along the way, having to do with other people and experiences. So I hope you guys get a lot of value from this, and I'm gonna leave the best for last. So if you guys wanna know what that is, you can either skip there right away or you can just watch till the very end, because I'll be sharing the most important and the most helpful thing that I've learned as a host. So the first thing that I could have done differently and I wish I knew was actually getting the property listed faster. Because what had happened, we took a lot of time preparing everything. So everything that was required on Airbnb's end to get the place listed, it took us about 2 weeks to get the place ready to go. I've taken a lot less time to get the furniture in there and to get all the amenities in there. And that's just me. I know with the next property that I move forward with, I'm going to be very strategic about it. I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna try to do it in less than a week because it's possible. It takes quite a while to get everything ready for the listing if you're not prepared. The second thing that I wish I would have known getting started is just how hard it is to please everyone. I don't know what I had like expectation wise, but the first bad review we got was completely and utterly like a stab to the heart. Many of you guys can probably relate to me if you guys have gotten any kind of bad review. Nobody wants to be told that they're doing something wrong or that what they offered is not what was expected. And so that was an expectation I had. I thought we did a really good job at getting the place up and ready, but I didn't know how hard it is to meet everyone's expectations. And this is something I've learned moving forward with the business. You can't please everyone, and that's something that is just, you have to accept it as a host. There's no way you're gonna be able to get 5-star reviews. Everyone is different. We've had such little tiny meticulous things that people have pointed out that other people didn't even seem to it didn't seem to bother other people, but certain people just didn't like certain things. And it's funny because, for example, we leave creamer and stuff in the fridge for the coffee, that we have like a little coffee bar, and someone actually complained that there was an open container of creamer in the fridge, which some guests seem to enjoy the fact that we provide that, and some guests were just bothered by it. So I don't know, everyone's different and everyone's picky. That's just one thing that we as hosts have to accept, is that you're not going to be able to satisfy and please everyone. That's a valuable lesson I learned along the way. So if I would have known that from the start, I wouldn't have been troubled. I had a few days that I spent kind of reflecting and wondering why people weren't happy with our listing, and it kind of bothered me a little bit. But I got over that really quickly, and telling myself from the start, I'd be like, hey, just don't worry about pleasing everyone. You're not going to be able to. Just do your thing and you'll get the best result from that. So this doesn't really have anything to do with the actual experience of being a host. It has more to do with how we decorated our property. But I'm gonna stress on a very important point that I'm gonna make at the end of this. So one thing that I wish I would have known from the start was don't buy live plants. The reason being is because you wanna be as hands-off with your business as possible, and live plants require a lot of attention, a lot of upkeep. And the thing is, if you're always gone, you kinda don't wanna worry about watering them or keeping them in the right amount of sunlight. So that's one thing that we don't have control over, right? If someone books for 5 nights, they're not gonna be watering the plants, they're not gonna be making sure they get enough sunlight. Fun fact, all of our plants that we bought, it cost us about 600 bucks, and all of them have died. So we're down to I think 2 of them are still alive, but for the most part, we have a bunch of expensive pottery and nothing in them because all of our plants died. That has a lot to do with certain guests who have stayed and have been very bad about keeping the blinds shut and not letting any light in and certain things. But one thing, the main point that I can relay from this, the main point that I'm taking from it, is try to be as hands-off with your property as possible. And this is what I've learned from it. So look at little things that you can do in your business to make sure that you're not there. If you can outsource everything, that's great, but if you want to save some money, you don't necessarily want to be paying people for certain tasks. Just look at your business and try to stay as far away from it as possible, and that way you'll have a lot of free time and you're not going to be tied up there constantly. So the next thing I'm going to share with you guys is a little bit more of a tactical, business related thing, and this is something that we just recently did. So when we were on our trip, we were away from the property for about a month, And one thing we did, we set our cleaning fee to $90. So we thought, maybe if we set the cleaning fee a little bit higher, we wouldn't get booked because we'd be getting less guests, and that kind of was going to be a little peace of mind with us, because like we've never managed the business from a remote location, and so we didn't want to be overloaded with guests. So we set the cleaning fee to $90, and surprisingly we booked the same, and it worked out really well, but we made a lot more money than we would have had we had it at our first price, which was $25 a night. So that's one thing I would have told myself before getting started was, hey, don't even worry about this. Set that cleaning fee as high as you can, as high as possible in your market, and don't worry, because people will still book. And hope you guys really take that to heart, and I'm sharing it from my own experience. We set it from $25 per booking to $90 per booking, and we still booked consistently with the same amount of guests, and all we did was just make more money because of that little switch, that little change in our business. It just made me realize that we were leaving money on the table for a while because $25 to $90 is a huge difference there, and it definitely shows on paper and in our bank account. Definitely make sure that you're not leaving any money on the table. The last thing that I wish I would have known getting started was how to properly structure your calendar. Now, one thing that I learned, and this is for me doing research on YouTube, and I found Airbnb Automated. Sean, you gave me some great advice, and I definitely implemented it in my listing, and I saw the change, and I saw how much it impacts the way that you get booked. So Sean from Airbnb Automated has a strategy of making sure that the guests who stay for one night, make sure they pay the price for staying one night, because that ruins your calendar. So what you want to do, you want to avoid one night bookings, because what they do, they block up the calendar and they don't allow people to book for 2 weeks at a time, for 1 week at a time, which is what really fills up your calendar and gets your revenue where it needs to be. So had I done that from the start, we would have been making a lot more money, because once I did that little change in my listing, we did start seeing a huge improvement in the cash flow. So what we had before, we just had a bunch of random one night bookings, and they weren't consistent, they were random, they were throughout the week, they're on the weekends, and that really wasn't bringing us the optimal amount of cash flow. And changing that little thing in our business, now we set our minimum night stay to 2 nights, and we have been booking longer. I think our average booking is now 5 nights. So that has actually helped us a lot getting started. It fills up our calendar a lot quicker, and it's just a lot more hands-off for us, because with every one guest that would check in, we'd have to be there and clean the property, because me and my wife, we do the cleaning on the property for right now. It's not outsourced yet. So with every one guest that would book and check out the next day, those one night bookings would get us in there, doing that work, right? Clean the property, getting ready for the next guest. And it'd just be a lot more of our time there, and it wasn't really showing that great of a result on paper. That one change, we're getting consistent bookings, we're making more money, and we're there less. So that is the one thing that you guys should take from this. I think it's the most important thing that I'm sharing with you guys today. Now, that's something that is actively required for you to be there and actually looking at the prices on the month and seeing what other people are doing in your area. But it will definitely improve your listing quality, and it'll help you get higher revenue. Just to do a little quick recap for you guys, I wish I would have known how long it would have taken me to list the property. Like, I would prefer to cut that time down a lot. I wish I would have known how it's hard to please everyone and not really strive for that. Don't go for the perfect 5-star review, because it's gonna hurt your feelings. I wish I would have known how hard it is to keep live plants and to be less active in the property, be more hands-off, because that really does help the quality of the listing a lot. If you're just not there, it keeps you in a better mindset about it. And I wish I would have known that I could have set my cleaning fee higher from the start. I was worried that if I set my cleaning fee really high, that nobody would book, and that was a complete misconception at this point, because like I said before, we're still getting consistent bookings with a very relatively high cleaning fee compared to what it was before. And lastly, I wish I would have known that if I would have strategically managed my calendar, I would be able to optimize my bookings, get multiple night bookings instead of just one night bookings. So people who do the single night bookings are sort of helping you out, because they're showing you that you have more nights available on the calendar, and people who are looking to plan ahead and plan a longer trip, they're gonna see your property, and they're not gonna see that property with a one night booking blocking those dates. So therefore, these are the 5 things I wish I would have known before I started my Airbnb, but at this point, I'm doing them all. I fixed them, I corrected them, I'm learning from all of these, these aspects of the Airbnb business. I hope I helped out any beginners trying to get started. I hope I helped anyone out that is looking to maybe host their first property. So that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'll be posting a lot of videos related to Airbnb and different investing ventures that I'm into. So thank you guys once again for all the support. For those of you who don't already know, I have a Facebook group called Airbnb Mastery through Rental Arbitrage. It's a slowly growing group, and I'm very happy every one of you subscribers who are in that group thank you so much. Just try to grow the community, try to keep information in there. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys all in the next one.